Fights in Apex are won by dealing more damage to the enemy than they deal to you. There are many ways to get that result. Third partying, catching players off guard, and focusing one person are all highly effective methods. Though, there are instances where you're fighting more than one team at a time, leaving you with little ability to do what usually works, or you are your team's last hope and need to play your life. In situations like these, your best odds of survival are with your enemies not be able to damage you at all. If you want to survive in a fight, take corners. Get to places where you can poke the enemies from, but ensure that you are able to disengage from that spot. If you cannot disengage from that spot, it's not a good spot. Use rocks, boxes, and other miscellaneous things on the map to block the line of sight of your enemies. Use that to push up on them while taking minimum damage, or disengage while making it hard for them to hit you. Play around with general line of sight, otherwise known as LOS. This is the most important concept to utilize cover in an effective and tactical way. To simplify line of sight, I'll put it like this. Imagine the enemies had lasers coming out of their eyes. If the lasers can hit you by them looking directly at you, then they have line of sight of you. If the lasers cannot hit you because you're behind cover, then they do not have line of sight of you. Whether or not they know you're there, they don't have line of sight, in which case they cannot hit you if they shoot you. You can utilize head glitches to minimize how much the enemies can hit you, but also give yourself a good spot to shoot the enemies from. It's great because even though your head is vulnerable and your head takes more damage than the rest of your body, your head is very tiny compared to your chest or your leg area. The enemies can only hit your head, a tiny pebble in their vision, whereas you have vision of their whole body, in which case you are far more likely to do more damage to them than they are to you. Hug any terrain you can to provide cover on the fly. This can save you from being beamed for free. For example, if we're playing Bangalore, you can use the passive to get to some tiny rocks to minimize how much damage you take while you reload, smoke, pop a battery or something. If you have another factor, like the ring or a third party pushing up behind your enemy team, the enemies you're fighting have the choice of either dying to that other factor or risk pushing into you, which makes them an easy target for you to hit and you a very difficult target to get to.